Aw yeah, Rivers here with some cool tech. Today I want to show you the TronSmart Prometheus. This is an Android media box running Jelly Bean 4.12. It's got an Amlogic M6 dual-core CPU, 1 gig of DRAM, 4 gigs of NAND, Mali 400 GPU. It's got Bluetooth, Ethernet, 802.11 BG&N Wi-Fi, and lots of ports. First off, you've got a full-size SD card slot here. You've got 3 full-size USB ports here, and it's got an actual power on-off switch. Here's your reset button, also for updating the firmware. This is an AV port, and this goes to RCA jacks, you know, the yellow, red, and white ones, so you can get analog audio out on this as well. You've got a HDMI slot, your RJ45 Ethernet port, and then your regular power here. In the box you also get a small instruction manual. Here's your audio video cables, so you could run just the audio out if you had a receiver through these RCA cables. And then you also have your power supply, and you need this because it's got the special round port. Most of these use like a USB micro port. And then you get an actual 3-foot HDMI cable with the regular size plugs on it, so that's kind of nice. Let's go ahead and boot it up and see what it looks like. So the best part about the Prometheus is definitely the software. The ROM is awesome. These developers are doing a really good job, and they support it really well too. It keeps on coming up with updates all the time. So first you'll start off with a little quick setup wizard, and then you're going to be presented with 2 launchers. Here's what the first launcher looks like. And I think it looks pretty cool, just a blank screen, and it's got a pretty good selection of apps to start with. So you've got everything you need to get going here. You've got file explorers, you've got Chrome, video players, music players, the Play Store, everything, all the basics. So here's the information about Android itself. You've got Jelly Bean 4.1.2. This is the January 29th ROM, which fixed Bluetooth support on here. Here's your second included launcher. So all these items here, they launch different apps. So here, this would launch pictures, this is your programs, your settings, your internet. I'm going to go ahead and customize out the Prometheus, put some new apps on here, new Go launcher, and then we'll run some benchmarks and I'll show you some of the cool things about the software. So I've went ahead and installed Go Launcher HD on here, which is a tablet version of Go Launcher. I put some widgets, the calendar widget, beautiful widgets up there at the top, power amp on the side there, and the Galaxy Pack Live wallpaper. Now let's go ahead and run a couple benchmarks on here and we'll see how it performs. So I always like to run LinPack on all my Android minis and see how they perform. And 71 is a really respectable score. The MK808 gets about 65, iMito gets about 67, so 71 is definitely good. And 73 is even better. I'll take it. Next up I'm going to run Antutu, which is a all-around benchmarking. So it benchmarks the memory bandwidth, the SD card write performance, the 3D processing, the physics, the processor, everything. So this is usually takes about 5 minutes to run, but I sped it up so we won't have to wait for that. And we got a score of 7872, which is good. Some of the other ones come about 6800, so that's not bad at all. Just for comparison, I'll show you it up against the Samsung Galaxy S3. So Galaxy S3 gets about 16,000, although mine only gets about 9,000 because I've got it so loaded down with apps and programs just galore on there. Now let's check out the CPU specs on here. So we've got a Cortex A9 based processor, 48 megahertz on up to 1.3 gigahertz, dual core. It's a Neon processor, and here's all the other information on the CPU. You can pause the video and look at it. So this ROM comes pre-rooted, which is really nice to have because a lot of awesome apps need root privileges. So I went ahead and put the Super User app on here, so whenever an app requests root, it will pop up with a little message and let you accept or deny the root access. And here's root checker. I'm going to go ahead and check and see if it's rooted. So there's the Super User. Let's go ahead and grant permissions. And it says, congratulations, you have root access. And here's another cool feature of the Prometheus software. See this little square down here on the taskbar? Click that and it takes a screen capture for you. And we can go and review that, and the picture itself looks really good, I think. So that will come in handy lots of times, just like it does on the phone. So you may have noticed that camera icon down on the dock, and the reason for that is because the Prometheus supports webcams. So this is just my regular Logitech webcam, and I plug it into the USB port and it works great. Here you can see the camera mounted on the top right hand corner of my computer monitor, and audio works as well on the Prometheus. Different Android minis work differently though. Sometimes audio is a problem or sometimes video is a problem. The camera itself is actually very versatile. You can move it up and down, right to left, and it's got just really good imaging, so I'm really happy with it, and I'll put a link to it down in the description below. Over the past few months, I've gotten a ton of requests for using Skype on Android mini PCs, and it definitely works on the Prometheus with this Logitech camera. River's here, just got my iPad on there, Skype's working on there, so definitely happy with it, and the camera's working great, so just wanted to show you that, and I'll talk to you later. Aloha! One of the best things, if not the best thing on the Prometheus is the way it handles remotes and wireless keyboards. It just is really smooth. It doesn't have that stop for half a second then continue, or it just works most of the time. Much better than any of the Android mini PCs I've tried so far. So I wanted to show you how it worked because it's just so much easier to use, especially when you're sitting on the couch with a gyro remote and you can actually get around on there pretty good. And I don't know if this is because of the really good software development on here, or if it's got some special hardware that just makes the USB ports less laggy, but look how good that works on this gyro remote I got. Just got this little guy so I could have a ProBox 2 remote on any Android mini, and it works awesome. I'm really happy with it too. And again, this remote cuts out a lot less on the Prometheus than it does on, say, the MK808 or even the iMito. And I've tried it on all my Android minis, and it works pretty good on there, but it works really good on the Prometheus. But also, my other Air remotes also work really good. And it's not just the gyro remote. My eSky Mini i8 with a touchpad and the buttons also works much better on the Prometheus. Pretty much across the board, all wireless devices seem to work better for me. I don't know what it is, but my wireless mouse also, it's just as if it's a corded mouse. Hardly any cutting out. I can really move fast on there and get everything configured quickly with that wireless mouse on there. But the eSky Mini is a great remote. It's nice because you can use the buttons to get around, and then if you need a little more precision, sometimes you've got that touchpad right there. So I like this remote a lot also. I have so many remotes, but one of my favorites. I'll put a link to it down in the description below. Those of you who already have an Android mini know it's a little bit hard to drag a moving video around because it's keeping the CPU busy, and sometimes the remote will cut out for a second, but it seems to work great on here. You can be playing the video and surfing around on a web page at the same time, no problem. Upgrading the Prometheus helps quite a bit. It added root and the camera app as well as more stability. So I put the micro SD into this SD card adapter, put that in the USB port on the computer. Okay, so we're going to get the card ready for so first off, I know this is my removable drive. Be sure and make sure that's your removable drive. Choose format. I'm going to choose a quick format so it doesn't take all day. Yes. Okay, and the format's done. Now, Prometheus, open WinZip, and I'm going to extract it to that drive. So I'm going to choose that H drive that I just formatted. It's going to extract to the H drive, hit OK, and now I'm just waiting for it. Okay, when it's all done, you can go in and look at the SD card. This is what you'll see on there. So 2 zip files, this bin file, recovery image, and factory update there. So anyways, that is on my SD card. We're now ready to do the Prometheus. See this little hole right here? That hole is for the reset button. You're going to put a paper clip inside that hole and click the button. Hear it clicking? You're going to hold that button down while you turn on the power button, and you'll keep it held down for about 5 seconds. After turning on the power button, I read that you should see the blue light flash 3 times. I couldn't see it flash, so I just waited about 5 seconds and then released the paperclip button. Your screen could stay black for a couple minutes, so be patient and just wait for it. Don't pull the power. If all goes right, this is what you'll see while it's upgrading your firmware, and you are done with your upgrade. Here's a couple of tips for you before I go. First of all, the Go Launcher themes, a lot of them are meant for phones and not for tablets, so they'll lock you out of your themes section. If you get that, just uninstall the last themes you installed and you should be able to get back in there again. Also, make sure and don't update the YouTube app on there. So if it says update all your apps at once, don't do it, because you'll update your YouTube too. It's got the good one for the tablets on there, and you don't want to replace it with the one for phones. It doesn't work as well. Right now the Prometheus is only available at a few places on the net. I'll put a link down in the video description below where you can find a good deal on it. Anyway, overall the Prometheus is a great little Android media player. It plays all kinds of movies. MKVs are no problem with MX Player. It has a great ROM with good software support. It's rooted. It's got the webcam support, which is really nice. Works very stable with remotes and mice. That's nice. Skype support, and Netflix works on there as well. So if you like this video, give me a like. It'll really help me out a ton. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Android mini PC updates. Thanks for watching, and as always, aloha.